Welcome to the Northern Knits Podcast. We're two friends in fiber who knit, craft, crochet, and talk everything in between. My name is Jocelyn, and my co-host is
Diana.
And avoiding a double cleric paladin situation last night, this is episode 340E, because there is no second 3. And we're going to try to bash through this as fast as possible, because all of a sudden it's magically Sunday afternoon and Diana has dance. No, seriously.
I do indeed.
What cleric and paladin don't know how to heal themselves? The two I had to play with last night. Morons. I love the boys dearly, but boy, the amount of fun I made for them for not understanding how to work within a divine class. We were in the Shadowfell. Neither one of the two of them thought to turn undead.
Ooh.
We're in the Shadowfell. The whole theme of the world is undead necromancy.
That's very Halloween theme. You'd
It
think
was so good. It was
turn
delightful.
undead, toll the dead, something.
Yep. Something. At least the cleric remembered that toll the dead is a thing. However, forgot that turn undead is a class feature.
Oh dear.
Okay. They both fell over twice and the sorceress had to heal them. That would be me, people. I built a sorcerer in an hour with wild magic as my background, dice rolled a lot of things. It was delightful. It was fun. Still regret not taking chill touch, because I was in a world where necromancy would have had a more powerful punch, but I had no idea what I was walking into, so. I stuck with catapult, because I wanted to hurl things that weighed 1 to 5
that sounds
pounds.
Fun.
It's a magical catapult. Loose items up to 5 pounds. You're just like 90 feet away from you, up to 90 feet away from you. You just go, you hit that. If you hit,
sounds amazing.
If you hit, it's 3d10 bludgeoning damage. 3d10 bludgeoning damage.
That's a lot, and then they're far away.
And they are away from me because I had 32 hit points and AC of 14. I was very squishy. It was very
squishy.
Very squishy to punch me. But the ones with the AC of 22 and 23 went down twice.
I don't
paladin if you can't paladin correctly.
Yeah, I don't think they quite understand how that whole stand back and heal people thing.
I am a hardcore divine class Dungeons and Dragons player. I love playing divine class. Personal favorites cleric, but I will do paladin. It's my happy place. It's my happy place. I can play punchy clerics. I've played punchy clerics. They are very playable as frontline characters. You still need to stay upright. You're the cleric.
Yeah, like if you go down,
it's a problem. It's a problem.
To put it mildly,
you don't use
this
your action
is a problem.
To punch twice. You use your action surge to heal your butt, then punch. Come on now. Ludicrous.
Rookie mistake.
I had delightful fun. Okay. We have things. There's stuff. I do have cool threads. It's my usual stuff, guys. It's like -2, -4. We're into Jocelyn weather, which means I'm wearing my half moon tee. I would be wearing my first wood woes, but it's still at Erin's house, so it's got to come home at some point. I will start wearing it when it comes home. I have that V-neck tee that Jen made that I have.
Oh yeah.
Where it's the V's in the back of the neck. It's a fingering weight like t-shirt. Like I wear that. I wear my bow cardigan because let's be honest, I'm not putting on a coat to take out garbage, but I need a little something. My chunky weight cardigan will do the trick. I wear my mallow cardigan under my coat. Like we're at that time, right? I need more cardigans. Good thing I'm casting on Thursday. Oh, Jeeves. Jeeves. I'm still craving a Hudson bagel and soup. I even made super tasty flatbread last night to go with my favorite saucy black beans, which is black beans and sofrita. So I had garlicky, onion, salty black beans with tomatoes and beautiful fluffy naan flatbread. And I had it with really nice crispy rice. And it's just nope.
Still want a bagel and soup?
Still want a bagel and soup. So I don't want to make bagels. They're way too much work.
Oh God, no.
Way too much work.
Way too much effort.
Way too much work. All right. What do you have for cool threads? I'm gonna blow my nose.
I have my Hexagon cardigan. And I think I figured out finally the thing that bothers me about the neckline is on this side. I think I didn't seam it up quite properly. I think I needed to sew just like 2 more squares.
Okay.
I think I just needed to do that and then it would hang better, more like the other side.
That's
It, it
plenty to
likes to
cause
fold out and the
problems.
other side doesn't do that. And it's the fact that they're not the same that bothers me.
Yeah, your squares are off.
So if I do some kind of little extra surgery and then add like a shawl collar around the neck,
That should,
like out
yeah,
to like just from this corner and then around to the other corner.
that might help. I mean, I would just take it apart to the part where I needed to make correct the issue and fix it, but
Because
it's a
because
lot.
it's just it's a continuous button band all the way around,
Yes,
button band, edging, whatever, all the way around. And I just don't want to.
it's a non-button button band.
Yes, it's an unbutton band. And I just don't want to. So it's fine. I think it's coming to dance class tonight. I'm running out. I have a reputation for wearing fun shirts and sweaters to dance class, and I'm running out of fun shirts and sweaters because I've been doing this since the since the summer now. So I'm down to like, I made this thing and it's okay kind of fun sweaters. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. It won't stay on very long anyway. We'll get real warm real fast.
Yes, you will. All
Anyway,
right.
that's my cool thread.
That's your cool thread? I'm trying to secretly get your word for the day as we go through this because it takes me a while to find the file every time. Because I keep downloading things onto my phone. Not sure
Need to
why.
add a shortcut to your home screen.
Well, I have my go find things in your case. So like your husband's phone. We have the same phone. Don't have a distinct problem with it. Because the phone itself is not the problem. It's how Google has their phone stuff set up.
Mm.
Drives me bonkers. And I don't know if it's because I got so used to how a Samsung phone is set up. I finally mastered. Okay, we're not having a word today, so I don't feel like arguing with the phone that much. I don't mind doing the back swipe like across the screen because, quite frankly, I use quick keys anyway for the most part. So I'm 2-finger swiping and tapping on my phone all the time anyway because the audio stuff's set up for visual impairment. But
Mm-hmm.
I hate how you cannot easily access things like your settings or your files. Like they're all super buried under 2 levels of screen. And it's just enough of a pain in the keister. I don't want to do it. So like I should not have to have my setting icon as a quick shortcut icon on my phone screen to avoid having to
And
literally
yet,
manually search for settings to get into my settings on my phone. But on Google, you have to. And I'm like, really? Really? I like this
yeah,
selfie feature on the phone which is really, I got the phone because it has a really nice camera and because it has a spoken selfie feature when the accessibility is engaged so I can start taking pictures of myself again. And I've been playing with it and I've been having a lot of fun. I enjoy those 2 aspects. I don't know if I enjoy those 2 aspects enough to stay with Google when I'm done my 2-year contract. We shall
that's
see.
fair. Although at that point, maybe you'll be used to it and going back to a Samsung will be annoying.
Who knows? I might go to something else like we'll be done our first year in May. So we'll know in May if I've sort of settled out. But if it's still bugging me at the end of year 1, it's still going to be bugging me at the end of year 2.
Yeah.
So we'll know soon, guys. All right. I have 4 things. You have 3, right? 2.
3, 2. I have 2 of the same things. So
2.
3,
I will
2,
go 2.
2.5.
2. We're not. not we're not splitting the details.
How do you want to count these?
I totally forgot because you have nothing interesting in your cup. I was gonna skip what's in your cup. I have some crisp autumn morning in my thermos.
Ooh.
So I'm enjoying some apple tea.
My miscounting again. Okay. One problem with doing this with Tweety yarn in colors that sometimes match just for one stitch is I occasionally get super off count because I think something's like a double wrapped stitch, but it's actually just one of the nips, the noops, the little flecky bits in the tweed.
Neps.
Neps. That's nips, noops, nips, nips. Nips, 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 nip.
So we'll talk about the thing that isn't. I'm not going to unfold it because I have the part where the sewing needle is set in on the top and I don't want to lose it.
Yeah,
and I have
no,
all the
don't do that.
pins aligned correctly. I am sewing the side seam. I'm hand sewing the side seam onto this beautiful skirt fabric. Will this be a better way to show you the skirt fabric? So it's a wonderful shade. I'd say like it's a mid-tone green. It's like an apple green, like a Kelly green. It's a really pretty bright green with this white plaid running through it. So it's really pretty. It's going to be just below the knees, hence the pile of fabric that it is. And when we were doing whip sprints yesterday, started sewing the side seam, and I got a little over halfway down the side seam in a 25-minute stretch, which means 2 side seams should take me less than 2 hours. Like, that's not long at all.
No, that's an
Because
afternoon.
if you count breaks, it's not even a full afternoon. If you count breaks, that's something you could do between lunch and your first tea break in the afternoon. Because if you take tea at 3 and you're done lunch at 1, between 1 and 3.
Yes, I take tea on every day.
You have to schedule breaks when you work from home. Otherwise, you'll get distracted and start doing things instead of focusing on your work. I've learned that lesson. So work days,
I'm still learning that lesson.
I don't do house stuff unless it is my scheduled break times. So I'm very regimented for work. Otherwise, it wouldn't happen. So I did do a little bit of that, which is really nice. I'd like to pick it up again maybe this afternoon. We'll see. We'll see. I didn't bring my orange skirt in here, but guys, I finished sewing the first step in the waistband. The other thing I did but didn't do was I secured pockets to this glorious black tweedy goodness, which is my Shapely Boyfriend cardigan. I love this pattern. I've made this pattern twice. Mom has one of these sweaters. But I cannot for the life of me find my skein of black tweedy yarn to sew the pockets on with. So I think I'm just going to find a black yarn that works well enough that I can't tell the difference on camera. And I'm going to sew the pockets on.
Anything sufficiently dark will work. It doesn't have to be tweed. Anything black will do.
Anything black will do. So I need to do that and get the pockets sewn on. I wanted to find
tight enough, actually, like even a charcoal or a dark brown or something would
I
work.
want to find the black, and the reason I want to find the black is because I know I have a skein of it, and that skein will let me make a belt.
Oh,
so like
okay.
I'm looking for the black for a reason.
That makes sense. Squeak.
So my next step is to go back through my stash and see maybe if I missed it when I was going through the first time. Totally possible. I am legally blind. I miss tons of things. Tons of things. But those are my first 2, and they're both whip sprint stuff because we just had our whip sprints. So I have 2 more that I can talk about. So you should probably go.
Shall I talk about the things I worked on during whip sprints yesterday?
Yes.
All right. There are things for my advent calendar partner exchange. So
Really?
just look away.
Really? I've already had them on the internet.
Don't watch the whip sprints and look away now.
Okay.
Or don't. I don't know. You do you. I made a little polar triceratops.
He's white.
Very blown out on camera. Yes, he's white. There we go.
If
I shade him slightly.
There was no way to not have him blown out.
So there's a white one. He doesn't show up very well. But I also tried out the alternate frill option to make this red one.
I like that extra frill.
He's got a little extra decoration, so a little Christmas.
You have to block your face a bit better. There we go. I do like the extra frill color detail. Like that's super cute.
So I made a pair of triceratops yesterday. Really got to get squeakers or something to put in these because they seem like they should squeak.
They really should squeak. They really should squeak.
Maybe this should have been the thumbnail.
I blocked my face entirely with my fabric, so maybe?
That can be a post later this week. I'm just confusing the heck out of everybody.
Babbles and triceratopses!
This is my Halloween costume now.
Oh no.
No.
Uh,
No, it is not.
in the realm of,
All right.
if I get it done before Sunday, I will have finished my forehand cardigan, which is the waffle oversized cardigan by, oh my goodness, it's been so long.
Crochet with Carrie.
Thank you. Crochet with Carrie that we were making and I finished a coon's age ago. I don't even remember why we decided we needed these, but we needed them. And I love them. Like
because they're glorious. That's why we decided we needed them.
I've been wearing this cardigan last winter, which means this has been done for a good long while.
And it's just now getting like finished.
Just now sewing on the pockets. So I sewed on one pocket in 25 minutes, which, come on guys, I had to line up the waffles. Of course it took me a while. And I've pinned the other pocket and I have the thread prepped for the other pocket. So I legit just need 25 minutes between. And no, I couldn't have done it last night because I got off from Whip Sprints. I had to make dinner and then build a D&D character before 7. Plus get ready
Important
for D&D.
things were happening.
There was lots going on last night. So I need to take 25 minutes today, probably once we're done recording. Sew on my second pocket, weave in the ends on both of the pockets, and then I am super finished because it was the last thing I had to do. But not having pockets is not going to stop me from wearing something. So this is a beautiful, huge balloon sleeve waffle cardigan. And once that second pocket's on, it will do the same thing the moon bow cardigan does, which means get me from the apartment to the car and the car to the house for D&D and take garbages because it's bulky. I can't wear it otherwise.
It's the I'm outside for 5 minutes cardigan.
It is. It's a beautiful, the yarn is Brings and Little, and I had they called it gray.
Yeah, I think it was like gray heather or something.
Gray heather,
it's definitely blue.
And it's like a dark steel blue kind of tone to it. So I love Brings and Little. It's an amazing cardigan, and my God, I hope Diana's done. We'll find out Sunday, guys.
I didn't say done. I said done all the pieces.
I want you to be done.
I want me to be done too, but I just reminding everyone. I said done the pieces.
I'm gonna hope for the best. Hope for the best. All right, I've got spinning, and you've got one other project.
I have got the one other project that I'm working on while we record.
Woo-hoo.
That you've already seen in the thumbnail.
It's true.
I'm on the last row of charts for the aMAZEing cowl.
Oh, yay!
So this is the very last row of charts. And then I think I have like a round of stockinette or something. And then I just need my like 6 rounds of twisted rib and then I'm done. I'm pretty sure I said this last week.
Yes,
but if I didn't have dance, I was going to finish tonight.
Yep.
And then I proceeded to not do that all week somehow. I was really busy this week crafting. And yet I did nothing that I can talk about.
That's my life. You have to stagger what you work on when, so you have content that you can publicly show and content that you can keep private because it's not ready to show.
Yeah. So learning that lesson.
I mean, guys, she could ask for help. She could ask me for pointers and tips. She doesn't.
Yeah, well, see, I need to understand that I need to ask for pointers and tips. And I do that by making the mistake first and then going, well, I don't want to do that again. How do I avoid this?
I'm not that person who's like, well, I do this, so it'll work for you. Because I don't know if it's going to work for you. And I'm not going to tell you what it is that you need to do. You will either have a plan.
Be like, this is what I do and it works for me.
And if you don't have a plan, you'll ask. And when you ask, I go, oh, I do this. I'm not going to assume you want my advice. That's kind of rude. Especially since I get mad at people who assume they need to advise me on how to fix my vision issues while out in public. I'm not doing that to other people.
Fair enough. Learning about all the content creation organization things is hard.
God, this is tasty tea. It's a lot of more work than I think people realize it is. No,
Anyway, so
seriously, I want a bagel. So
the
bad.
yarn for this is Wood Lily DK
DK?
Tweed from Fireweed Fiber Co. The dark purple with pink and blue flecks is Bad Romance, and the lighter purple with pink flecks is Do You Love My Insides from this year's Buffy Club colorways.
Ooh.
So next week, I should, in theory, have a finished object.
2 weeks running. 2 weeks running.
Yeah, well, I was working on other stuff this week. It's not that I didn't knit. I did a lot of knitting. Just not on things I can talk about.
Super fair. I know what background knitting you're doing. I know what background knitting you're doing. I have the same problem.
Poor planning.
As of Monday. And I can't just dive into the normal hours that I used to be doing. I get to do half work this week, which is going to make it even harder.
It's going to be possibly more frustrating than it can't do it at all.
Yes, I in fact know it's going to be more frustrating than can't do it at all. So it's just the stage of healing I'm at. All right, I need to cut because I need a Kleenex box. What am I talking about? Spinning.
Spinning.
In the super smexy Ziploc bag storage unit system that I have going for my spinning fibers.
Hey, it's an effective system.
It is. I've got some wonderful light purpley gray. I'm sure the bat has a name. I'm sure I don't know what it is. I have 100 grams, so 250-gram beds of sparkly gray, purpley white, fluffy goodness. They are from Aran and Fireweed Fiber Co. because I love all things Aran and Fireweed Fiber Co. apparently. It's true, I do. And when you work in a booth a lot,
you end up with a lot of stuff.
Stuff just comes home, okay? That's how it comes. So I'm still spinning my first 50 grams worth. I am practicing the creation of art yarn. So that is the technique of spinning consistently inconsistent. So you want like thick sections and thin sections and little neps so that when you spin them together, you get a wonderfully, wildly varying yarn. So I just did 25 minutes worth. So like this little bit right here, because it was a naked drop spindle when I started, is 25 minutes worth of drop spinning slowly for art yarn.
I mean, that's not bad.
It is not bad. It's not fast because I am using the stop start that you teach people to drop spindle with. So like when you first stop drop spinning, they're like, you can spin and then stop the drop spindle, put it between your knees, and then practice having the twist travel up the yarn.
Park and draft.
Park and draft. I'm still parking and drafting, and I'm doing that so that my consistency.
Nothing wrong with a park and draft.
My consistency stays inconsistent. I also use shorter runs of spinning fiber so that I get thick, thin sections. Because that's specifically what I'm looking for. When I'm not paying attention, I start just drop spinning on the regular and it becomes too consistent. I'm like, I'm glad I know I can make yarn on a drop spindle. This is important. I'm just trying to make sure that when I do the park and draft that I'm making art yarn. That's what I'm practicing. And it's a harder one for me because you instinctively want to even everything out. And I'm trying to fight that instinctive even everything out.
So far, not so hard.
It's hard, but so far
understand. I understand why everybody was like, spin art yarn to begin with, because once you learn how to spin consistent yarn, it's so hard to do art yarn. I get it. You get a muscle memory, you get a flow, and then you just stop thinking about it, and then regular yarn happens.
When I forget to park, it just starts to become regular yarn. I have to stop and start constantly, which slows me down. But I am hanging on to that art yarn, which is the stuff I really love about hand spun yarn, is I love a lovely art yarn, hand spun yarn. So I am desperate to hang on to that as I drop spindle things because I don't want to lose that. I still want to make art, like I still want to make hand spun yarn. I love hand spun yarn too. I just don't want to lose the neck for the first one. So I'm like, It's harder to maintain. I will make that my sole practice first, because it's always easier to drop something and be lazy, which case continuously drafting and spinning all the way through, than it is to slow down and park and draft. So I will do that. But I didn't do much because, again, this was the last week of healing, so I've been doing a lot of the stuff I've been like sort of putting off in real life, like cleaning, adulting, laundry, things that are taking a lot more time this week because one hand.
Yeah, doing things one-handed will do that.
It slows you down. And next week, only half hours for work. So instead of 8 to 12-hour days of work, I can only do 4.
Okay. Don't drop the stitch. Don't drop the stitch.
Don't drop the stitch. So it'll be interesting to see what I get done for our live on Sunday.
Yeah. Yep. I'm also curious to see what I'm going to get done.
All right. That's it, I think, for works in progress. Things that we're working on.
Yep.
I'm not hunting for
I'm almost done. I'm so close. I'm so close. I finished the charts.
Okay. Well, you need to do your Patreon ad with no bonus word.
No bonus word. Excellent.
I don't feel like fighting my phone anymore to try to find it.
Okay. 'Twas brillig and the slithy toves. No. I don't know. Sometimes when I get put on the spot, that's the thing that comes out. It's some poem that I know.
Yeah, I know. I hear it a lot.
If you would like to financially support these shenanigans for some reason, you can do so at patreon.com/northernitspodcast. Any level of support gets you access to our patron-only Discord server, where we are active at all hours of the day and the night, discussing everything from coffee to yarn to cats, coffee to cats, and if this was actually scripted, I would have alliterated this nicely, like coffee to cats and yaks to yarn or something.
Not yaks, but we do talk goats and sheep.
I mean, Kiviat is a yak, isn't it?
Yeah, but we don't generally talk
No,
about
muskox. We don't typically talk about Kiviat, no.
Or muskox.
You know, I was trying to alliterate and I couldn't come up with anything else relevant with a Y.
It's fair. Guys, we have all the deets for everybody on the Patreon main page, which you can find linked in the show notes, which is found at www.northernitspodcast.com. Also, as always, if you can't financially support us, liking, subscribing, and interacting with us here on YouTube as well as other social media platforms is a great way to keep in contact with us and show us what you're working on. Personally, I think the Patreon's great, so I'm honored that people are willing to pay to have more access to us. And yes, Patreon members, I'm aware that when Diana does her planned scheduling tonight, less of a lurker is got to be on that list, with a plan to be less of a lurker.
Ooh, I like lurking, okay?
I know you do.
I like being passively social.
I know you do.
I want to participate. Mrr.
Brr.
I want to be included, but I don't want to participate, you know?
It's like a cleric that can't heal. People, if you're a cleric, know your healing spells. Okay, fine. It's fine. It's fine.
I was going to start spouting cleric spells, but I've never played a cleric, so I actually don't know any.
There is no way in all of your D&Ding you have not been
healing
healed
word?
By healing word or cure wounds or lesser restoration.
I'm certain I've heard them many a time, but since I've never actually played the class, they just don't stick.
Fair. All right. Monster snapping. It's just weird. Let's do some quick admin stuff, and then this very short episode is done.
All right.
This coming Sunday is going to be the live for the month because we'll be officially in November when this goes up on the 1st of November on the Wednesday. So hopefully everybody had a wonderful Halloween. It's a thing. So keep an eye out on the Instagrams and YouTubes on Friday and Saturday, as that is where we will be posting the votes for next month's craft off. Which means, yes, this coming Sunday you will find out, did I knit a kid sweater and did Diana get the pieces done on her waffle cardigan? That's not what it's called. It's called the four-hem cardigan.
It's a waffle cardigan. It's the waffle stitch.
It's the waffle stitch cardigan. So, keeping that in mind, we will have 2 new projects to vote for this coming weekend for everybody. Otherwise, we have the fall equinox cowl going on right now. Diana's desperately trying to finish her aMAZEing cowl in the background quietly. And I need to sew doors on mushroom bucket bags. Mind you, the pocket sewing didn't hurt my hand, so I should be able to do the doors too, which is again, it's another quick lightning quick, and then I'd have 3 FOs next week.
Ooh.
So
Well, I'm on track for 1. I'm into
that's
the ribbing.
good. That's good. So that'll wind up around the winter solstice. We don't do a winter solstice to spring equinox cowl. We assume everyone is generally tends to be very busy the last little bit of the year. We tend to overbook ourselves with stuff. So, keeping that in mind, the stuff that we do from now till the end of the year tends to be a touch fly by the seat of our pants. Because it just does. As of Thursday, Louise from Wildflower Wool has conveniently talked me into it. Didn't take much effort, guys. It was like a passing suggestion, and I said sure. Like it was super chill. For the
Twist your
monthly
rubber
check-in,
arm.
there was no twisting. I just said, yeah, no problem. Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that. Since I'll be live on Thursday with
Uh-huh.
Louise for the monthly check-in, we will see if I finished my niece's Christmas presents. Because that was what I had on the schedule for that. Then we're going to do a sweater in November. A festive Christmas sweater in November. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave that there. That's full on weighty as it is. So we'll see. Can I do a
Have
sweater in
fun with that.
November? And then we're doing a knit for yourself in December. So we're knitting a sweaters and inviting everybody else to knit a librarian or book themed sweater or cardigan with us in December for yourself. So we'll see if I can do a sweater every month for the next 2 months. I'm usually not that monogamous, so
I would be very, very impressed if you don't get distracted with yet another sweater at some point.
well, not even so much distracted, but I gotta finish the MCAL in the background. So like and I've got patterns I want to get out to testers in January when the MCAL starts for release in February for my own stuff for the next round of seasonal collection bits. So like I have lots on my plate as per usual.
Lots going on.
Lots going on. So I think that's every
Think so.
oh wait, we've got dates of things. Because it is the last recorded episode of the month. I'm not going to look for dates because I always get those wrong, but just remind everybody that we do post a programming schedule on the first of the month, which will have dates. But we have, as always, the last Saturday of every month is Whip Sprints. We just passed the last Whip Sprints. Second last Saturday of every month is for the Patreon members at $5 or more a month. Get to do an e-knit in with us once a month where we literally chill and have a knitting afternoon or evening, depending on what time of the world they're in. And as always, you can find bonus content sort of sporadic throughout. I have had some grumblings that we don't do the movie nights anymore, so I feel like we might need to restart movie
Oh
day.
my gosh, yeah. I absolutely forgot that we
So
haven't done one of those since the spring.
we might have to restart those again. So keeping all
Yep.
of that in mind, and because in November Diana and I make changes for things and tweak things for the upcoming year, there will be changes coming for December going forward because that is how we does things. All right,
Important
Diana's
to
got
grow and change.
it is. Diana's got dance class. I have regrets. I bought all of the stuff I needed for the cat for the month, and if I'd held back $30, I could fulfill this damn craving. So I need to go figure out what I can make to maybe potentially fulfill the bagel craving I've got going. So I'm going to say, literally until Sunday, I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you, don't forget to
Don't forget
knit.
to knit.